So today I'm joined by Ben Shepherd. Ben Shepherd is our newest network recruit and is going to be just gone through training.
Yep.
You're going to be launching in July.
Yes.
So just a couple of weeks away now. And actually Ben's been part of the network partnership pipeline for the past 18 months.
Yes.
Nearly 18 months now, I
18
suppose.
months now, yeah.
So you've just been through training, but do you want to first start by telling me just a little bit about EnviroTrans, because it's a bit of a family affair?
Yeah, so I started EnviroTrans just over 2 years ago now. It was almost 3 years ago. So, like any little business, I started it with my brother. So it was one man in a van. We got ourselves out there. Really started as a subcontractor for Food DX Freight. Actually, tell a lie, it was through Breezeman. We had the IKEA contract nationally.
Yeah.
That developed because they have two sides of their business. They've got their LCD, which is basically local stores, and they've got their CCD, which is their internet sales.
Mm-hmm.
So we, as we were doing work in Breezeman through the Wednesday operation, we then hunted down who did the CCD, which was locally done by DX. So we went and spoke to DX, got a few contacts there.
Mm-hmm.
And really sort of grew from there really. So I currently run 10 vehicles every day, 7 days a week out of DX. They went through a tendering process because they didn't want to give it all to Breezeman. So DX are their service provider for the Midlands. So we do all of our work now through DX.
Mm-hmm.
We then quickly became an operator because I explored work with other retailers like DFS, Dreams, Know-How. So that encouraged us to become an operator because we needed to move into the bigger vehicles like the 7.5 tonners. And so the business, I've actually pulled out the Know-How operation because it didn't suit us. The goalposts had changed, so it was a bit of it did create a bit of risk that I didn't want to take, or too much risk that I didn't want to take. But yeah, so the business has gone well from strength to strength.
And you just started on, rather than doing the subcontracting stuff now, you started to take on your own business as well, as opposed to doing it through the third-party logistics providers, which is really good.
Well, the need for that really, the need for that was that my vision for the business going forward was that we needed to become more of a first-tier provider than a third-tier provider with a contractor. If something happens to DX, my business is at risk.
Absolutely.
If something happens to the volume, that we also don't have, the security of having the relationship in-house. If anything goes wrong there, it affects my business straight away. So
it's that control, taking back control yourself.
Absolutely.
And what actually enticed you to actually explore in the first place the diamond offering?
Well, it was at the beginning of last year that we realised that what was our future, where we were going to go. Mm-hmm. We'd quickly grown as a family business, and as you do, you're in the thick of it every day. But we wanted to look at where we were potentially wanting to be in 10 years, 15 years time. I want to grow a business I can hand over to my kids, or was going to provide a good future. So we wanted to explore opportunities of how we could create wealth for our business really, and grow, and through I think I actually got this through Google. So we looked at various franchise operations that were out there in the market. Mm-hmm. Read up a bit upon Diamond. I think I called the office one day and spoke to Charlotte. She put me in touch with yourself. Mm-hmm. And it kind of went from there, and has really been exciting and something we wanted to do, because that would stamp our ability in an area where we could go sell and bring on our own customers with. And it gave us the ability to be part of a network rather than having to do it ourselves. So it was advantageous, both sides really.
Good. So I remember that first meeting very well in Telford.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems like a lifetime ago. It doesn't sound like me. Okay, so following that initial meeting and all these subsequent conversations that we've had, you looking into the Diamond model and everything else like that, what actually made you pick us in terms of being a network partner? Because there's lots of other opportunities out there.
Yeah, there is a lot of other opportunities. I think for me, it was mainly because I'm a salesman at heart. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see the benefit of using the other carriers as essentially your operation. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't any huge issues to overcome in terms of having to get operational in that area straight away. So we can actually increase as our sales increase. It's certainly a sales model which is heavily supported by the infrastructure in terms of marketing and finance, sales. But not having to now have 10 vans sat there waiting for us to go and find work for.
That's
you know,
right.
and you know, it's like the chicken and egg situation of what comes first. You know, do you go out and buy your vehicles, then go and try and find the customers, and that's why the Diamond franchise appealed to me so much, because it allows us to go and sell a product, you know, which is also one stop, which is, you know, ideal in terms of, you know, the same day, the express and the fulfilment, and then obviously is something we can obviously bolt onto this now is our two-man as well. So the synergies between both. So that's what attracted me massively to the Diamond, you know, network really.
Good. Okay. So you must have had concerns though about the model. You know, certain things that you just kind of thought, you know, is that going to work with my business? Presumably you've overcome all of those concerns.
Yeah.
But what were those little doubts that you had in your mind when you were exploring?
I think initially it was because, you know, that there is, as much as you don't have to go out and have a you know, a huge delivery depot with vehicles and drivers straight away, you've still got to have a lot of working capital in the business. You know, 18 months ago the business was nowhere near the size it is now, and I was still driving vehicles, and my brother was still on the vehicles. You know, we were trying to make ends meet as any small business does, and it was, my concern was once we'd made that step and we'd, you know, bought into the network, and we would have to use the working capital as had we got the time to get ourselves to a break-even point quick enough before the cash ran out, and that was those were my challenges and concerns, and then, you know, and then did we have the resource to do it, and how much work the existing business was taking, but we've overcome that because we've actually found some other customers of our own in our two-man.
Yeah.
So we've now got what we call kind of like an anchor tenant. So you know, we're already in a situation where we've gone out and found customers that, you know, bill us directly. We're working with. We've now subsequently established ourselves in the Wolverhampton area with a depot of vehicles. So this is just a really nice time for us to bolt on the Diamond solution into our business to grow, and so it's worked quite well for us.
So it was as much to do with timing than it was anything else, really.
Anything else, really? Yeah. I mean, like anybody, you've got to look at the person, haven't you? You know, cash is king, and although we were excited about coming on and we wanted to do it, it was just, you know, time and resource wise, you know, go and get the depot, go and opening up. Do we have the resources and the manpower to actually fulfil what we would want to do once we joined as a partner, and, you know,
and the focus,
yeah. So, you know, there was questions of potentially selling off what we had existing to then do this, but it's just like anything, timing is everything in life, isn't it? And it's all come at the right time, and we've got the right people on board. You know, more family have come to work for me now. My dad works for me, my brother works for me. Yeah. You know, Tom's a long-standing friend who's going to be, you know, heading up our sales. So, you know, it's just all good timing, really.
Good. Okay. So, so with the existing Envirotrans business and the two-man operation and everything else like that, how do you see that running alongside what you're going to be doing on the Diamond model?
Well, quite frankly, I want to run them, you know, as one. You know, it's a conversation I've had also with Kate earlier, that, you know, I don't really see us running just Envirotrans separately as doing its own thing, and then Diamond. You know, I want to leverage off the brand of Diamond. So I think what we'll do is we'll run them. You know, we'll integrate the two-man into what we do. You know, there's advantages as well for the Diamond network that we are running a national two-man delivery service as well. So there's opportunities to integrate the network. Other partners in the or members in the network can then leverage off us having vehicles in that area. We're an operator, so we've got, you know, larger vehicles. We're going to be trunking. We've got 7.5. So there's lots of exciting conversation I think that can take place in the network that can add value across the board. But yeah, we absolutely integrate those services.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important point that you just made, because, you know, many of the people that are watching this video now, and lots of courier companies and logistics businesses that I've been speaking to, I've often been a little bit concerned by that lack of independence. So actually moving your business from an independent courier company or logistics business and being part of a network, and you've seen the opportunity in embracing it. You know, whilst we have opened up the model to allow people to run their existing businesses alongside the Diamonds, you've actually seen through being in training and the conversations that we've been having that actually the benefits to actually promoting yourself as Diamond Logistics outweigh the benefits of you staying as a local independent courier.
100%. It will enhance us 100 times in terms of our ability to go out and sell.
Yep.
Market presence, market intelligence. Also just being part of something that, I bought into this because I'm buying diamonds and intellectual property into my business as well. So it's going to enhance what we do, and enrich us in terms of our ability to go out and make money and win customers. There's also going to be lots of low-hanging fruit. The express side will allow us to go out and do a bit of a numbers game initially, get parcels in, pay the bills. But then obviously we've got some, great opportunity in terms of the fulfilment side, the more two-man customers coming into our own network. That will really be where we get our some big accounts from in the market. So yeah, it's really exciting.
And one of the other points that you made there was about the collaboration with other network partners, and that's something that quite excites you, particularly on the two-man side of things. Excuse me. And this network is all about that collaborative approach. It's all about bringing network members together, independent businesses together, so that there is this kind of sense of unity across the UK. Something that I know that you very much embrace as part of that network.
Well, we're already a family business, and I think the Diamond, having met you for the first time, and then Kate and some of the other guys, it's very much a family feel. But I'm very much, like I said, I'm a salesman at heart. I'm a team player, and I think to have that ability to get on the phone and talk to people that are in the thick of it with you, their experiences, what's worked for them, what hasn't worked for them, what they've learned, and to be able to feed off that is absolutely key, to the success of it. So, I'm looking forward to that. No, we're not just a lone ranger in Wolverhampton, So it's good.
Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold. So now you've been through your intensive training. It's been a full-on week.
Yeah, I've got bags under my eyes.
Early starts and late finishes, and a lot of information being crammed in. How have you found that training? Do you feel like you could kind of go out there and start promoting those additional services from today?
Oh, without a doubt. I think any questions that we've had, or I wouldn't even say concerns really, just anything that was kind of vague to us until we've walked in today have been answered. I think again, from the marketing, the finance, and the support that is going to become part of our business is great. The launch, but I think key is what we're going to do on the sales.
Definitely.
We're very much a sales-driven business, but obviously, the marketing material is great now. We can go out and start talking to people. I think some of the things that have been that you've brought to the table with the LinkedIn and how to market ourselves, really excited about just generating the leads. So we go out and attack them, and I think we'll probably be selling before we've got our accounts to be honest. But that's we're ready to rock and roll.
And that's again very important point that you just made there. Like with any business, this is a sales-led opportunity. With any business, you don't just open your doors and naturally get business flooding into you. You've got to go out there and get it. But part of that training is, giving you the tools and the knowledge and the know-how to actually go out into your local area or even internationally and bring business into your business.
Absolutely, yeah. I just the most exciting thing is that we can, any person out there, any business is an opportunity now for us. Because there is something in this portfolio of services that we can offer them. Whether it's all four of the services from two-man fulfilment, express, same day, international, or whether it's just one of those, pillars, we can give them something compelling, which is what we need. You need something compelling in the market that's different and that can create a difference in their world as well, and you can close it. So I think we're gonna it's going to be forced to reckon with really.
Good. Okay. So just concluding that training bit, what do you think has been your biggest takeaway from that training?
I think the biggest thing is the sales side, and also me as a business owner is getting my hands firmly on that financial part of the business. The break even, your income and expenditure, where we're spending money that we shouldn't, where we maybe haven't spent money that we should, and the cash flow. Cash is king, as we all know. So for me, it's how I free up my sales division to go and sell. So give them give them no excuse really, if you want to call it that, but give them what they need to be able to go out and do what they need to do every day. So free them up and not bog them down. But ultimately as well, me now, I've really got to, with this in our business, I've really got to get to grips with, what's going on with those financial statements and do some work with them really. So you kind of always have got a finger on the pulse of the business business owners to what's going on. But I think now to support the business, to make sure we're healthy and we can, go forward, I just need to have that much more control.
Yeah, good. Okay. And very finally, you've joined the network on a full licence.
Yes.
And that means a total term of 10 years.
Yes.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years, Ben?
I don't know, holiday home in the Caribbean probably, and selling it on, getting one of my kids to manage it for me. But look, it's in 10 years' time. I think I have a feeling this won't be our only area. I think we'll most likely outgrow Wolverhampton and Telford, and that we'll probably take on some other opportunities where we can in the business. And yeah, I see ourselves hopefully as in a bigger warehouse with more two-man parcels. The two-man delivery service is hot out there at the moment, and there's a lot of people earning money doing a bad job. So I think if we can do a good job, we've just got a good chance of earning some money with some good clients, and bringing on some good fulfilment clients. And I think I'd like to see us in excess of 10 million turnover in 10 years, and that's my game and my aim. So that's what we're
just for that one site.
Yeah, that's the one site.
The other sites as well. And again, that's something that we actively embrace. For us, if we've got a network partner doing a sterling job for us in one area, why wouldn't we want them to set up a site somewhere else in the UK? So the opportunities are endless. But look, it's been a pleasure this week, Ben. Very much looking forward to launching you. Great to have you on board, and thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully we'll talk to you very soon.
Cheers.